guys! I hope all is well. Today we're going to be making these super cute keropi-shaped steamed buns with black sesame filling. This is part of my matcha black sesame series, so subscribe to stay tuned for more yummy recipes. Anyway, let's get started. To start off, combine the flour, yeast, baking powder, sugar, and soy milk in a large bowl. I used soy milk in this recipe, but you can use any type of milk or just water too. I started off by mixing with the spatula, but then, as you can see, I just go in with my hands. When your dough comes together, remove a small portion of it and set it aside for keropi's features. I actually took out too much, so if you're making this, I'd suggest just taking about half of what I took out. Then add your matcha powder and knead the dough for 10 minutes. My dough is really stiff, so I added about an additional tablespoon of water, but your dough should be slightly sticky to the touch. After you've broken your back kneading the dough, place a wet towel over your bowl so your dough can sleep for an hour. Yes, I do call it putting my dough to sleep, and I like to keep it in a warm area, like an oven that has been preheated for about a minute or two. While your dough is proofing, let's make the black sesame filling. It's super simple. All you have to do is combine all your ingredients and mix. Here, I used freshly ground black sesame, which is coarser than the powders you buy at stores or online, so you'll get a kind of gritty filling. If you want a smoother filling, I've linked some fragrant black sesame powders I would recommend. If you want a more molten filling, feel free to add more water. Just note that when we roll the fillings out later, they may be harder to fill. Once you've gotten the consistency you like, put this in the fridge so it can set for a bit. After an hour is up, your dough should be ready to go. Then, split your dough into 6 equal portions. This makes pretty small baos, but if you'd like bigger ones, you can split your dough into 4 portions. Then, you'll want to split your remaining plain dough in half. One half will be used for the whites of the eyes. Take the other half and split it in half again. I'm using ground freeze-dried strawberries to color the dough pink for the cheeks. You might have to knead the dough for a while, but eventually you get a really light pink hue. Feel free to cover your baos as you're kneading your dough so they don't dry out. For the other quarter, I used ground black sesame to get a black dough for the pupils and smile. Now it's time to fill the buns. Use about 20 grams of filling for each bun. Initially I was greedy and wanted more filling, but you'll see that the first bun I made broke, so stick to around 20 grams. And here I'm just rolling the filling into a ball, then pressing the dough into a circle in order to wrap it around the filling. Now onto the features. Split your white dough into 12 for the eyes, pressing them into circles and placing them onto your buns. I like to dip my finger in water and tap the backs of the circles for easier sticking onto your keropis. Then split your pink dough into 12 for the cheeks. I used much less than the dough I initially separated, but feel free to play around with the size of the features. Again, I pressed this on using a bit of water. Finally, make the eyes and the mouth by splitting the black dough. I'm not really sure how big you make them. All I can say is that you don't need much. Anyway, the pupils are made just like the whites of the eyes. To make the mouths, roll the dough into a small cylinder, then curve it slightly to get keropi's characteristic pointy smile. And there you have it. You are now a certified steamed bun artist. I steamed these for about 15 minutes, and here is the final product. Now, you may be wondering why I'm only showing 2 here. So, a bunch of them had holes in them, and let's just say there were a few casualties due to exploding fillings. But just don't be like me and don't overfill the buns. Either way, they're still super yummy. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to learn how to make more matcha black sesame desserts, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time!